So, I'm going to be installing Fedora 32 KDE Edition on my virtual workstation. Also, let me know in the chat if the music levels are off from my voice. I just decided to put some chill stuff in the background. So this is going to be an installation, laid back, don't want anything too upbeat or anything. Can't really tell with my headset if it's too loud or not, because the audio levels are different. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. First off, this is a KVM virtual machine. It doesn't have any graphics card or anything attached to it because I'm not going to be needing any of that extra graphics performance or whatnot. And by default, it boots up in, this lovely form factor that's got these lovely side bezels. But once I get past the installation, it'll be much better. Alright, first let's set up the disk. The disk is set up for it. Let's set up, no, I name all my systems after animals. What should I name this one? No, I have something named Husky on the network already. Liger VM. I should get a microphone stand that doesn't sit on my desk. It's hard to get to my keyboard behind the mic. Now comes the waiting. It's installing to SSD underneath this VM, so shouldn't take too awful long. Also, I'm trying a different streaming type this time. I'm going with the low latency, so that way hopefully I don't have out of sync comments of what's actually happening on the screen. Definitely in the recorded version, if you're listening to this recorded, I'll have chapter markers in the bottom, so if you want to skip ahead to once the installation part is finished, you can definitely do that. Oh, and I guess while we're waiting for this, I can talk a little bit about one of the big things that I'm planning on doing differently. I'm decided that what I tried to do before is too unrealistic for my work-life balance schedule, especially even though I'm at home all the time. My day job is quite demanding of me and wears me out quite a bit. So my plans are to take weekends to record 2 videos to release over Tuesdays and Thursdays during the week. So you'll have a video every Tuesday and every Thursday. And that's kind of my goal. That's what I'm going to aim for and shoot for. Also, I'm no longer going to try and put any sort of gaming content on this channel, because I don't think that's what the audience really wants, and to be honest, I'm not really much of a gamer anyway, so there's that too. On top of that, I think the best choice for me is to just go to a different channel if I want to do gaming or something, or possibly even another platform like Twitch. But that would be just because it's something I enjoy doing. But other than that, I'm not a huge gamer, and when I do play games, they're sandbox games because it's just something I do to relax. This is more of the stuff I do for fun. And I wanted to do a live stream here because I want to build out a desktop that you're going to see. Because I know while I use a Mac in my day-to-day, I think I should do the videos on Linux since I'm recording stuff for Linux. And honestly, it just feels more native to me to do all the work in Linux to control the Linux machines. So, we'll see what happens. Oh, and here we are, finishing the installation. Hold on a second here. It's not showing my mouse. So I can't change those settings. Huh. It's upsetting that it doesn't show my mouse on the screen. Anyways, it's time to reboot. As you saw there for a brief second, the desktop of the hypervisor server. That's in my previous video. You want to see how I set that up. Alright. Now we're finally in the desktop where I can do some fun stuff. I can start customizing things. Okay. So first things first, I definitely want to fix the resolution here. Display. Here we go. Display configuration. This is the 1080p. Uh-oh. Why did you bounce back? Let's try that again. Fly. It probably doesn't have the driver we need yet. Let's go ahead and install these. Several updates. Probably after we get these updates installed, we can do it. So this is one of the things about a virtual machine. And with Fedora specifically, this is something I've noticed. They actually include the drivers. However, the problem is with these drivers, you usually have to update them to get the latest ones first. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then maybe we can actually set 1080p without an issue. Ooh. So let's also talk about why I'm using Fedora. I've just always been a decent fan of Fedora. I like how it works, I like the features it has, and I like the really stock feel it has. I know a lot of people like distributions like Ubuntu and whatnot, which I have no qualm against Ubuntu. I used to use it for a long time, specifically Xubuntu or Xubuntu. I feel like to say its name. I wanted something that was even more stock and that I can customize exactly the way I wanted. And I know Arch is a good way to do that, but Arch is a little bit heavier than I'd like to put the effort into maintaining. I used to have to roll back packages every so often when something went wrong. So switching to Fedora, you get more packages with the RPM Fusion repos, and the software usually tends to be even more up to date than I've seen even in Ubuntu. Fedora's repos are faster at getting new kernel updates as well, so you get newer kernels quicker. And it's just been super stable for me, and even other people I've listened who run it, like, they update every version for the past couple years, and they haven't had to reinstall. It just seamlessly upgrades and works, and that's been my experience as well. The reason I go with KDE is I just prefer KDE. Also, I'm not so sure how well Wayland plays inside of a KVM. Maybe it plays well, maybe it doesn't. Not really sure, and I don't want to test it. And also, KDE is, contrary to popular belief, and I know that there are people who have done videos on this, but it seems like even though people have done new videos on this, KDE is not heavy. It's actually close and sometimes even better than even running XFCE. It's very lightweight. I mean, you can make it heavy if you add tons of customizations and whatnot, but by default, it runs pretty smooth. I mean, my favorite thing about running KDE is it looks really slick, it looks really modern. I kind of like the classic Windows S style menu bar down at the bottom. But the other thing that I enjoy is just in GNOME, they've gotten rid of, like, if you go stock GNOME, so not using Ubuntu where they have the actual top icons, those are gone in stock GNOME. And that's a problem for me. Like, a lot of apps that I use, I need the system tray icons. Without the system tray icons, like things like, you know, Slack and other programs of that nature, Telegram, other messaging apps, you have to leave it open in your taskbar. And as someone who's even been using Mac sound now, even Mac has the system tray. So I find it interesting that Linux is trying to move away from system tray when the two biggest operating systems in the world still use system trays. I even noticed this when I was playing with the latest version of Elementary. They don't have a system tray either. I mean, they have a system tray for their specific stuff, but when you install their applications, there is no system tray. And I just think that's really interesting. I feel like system tray is pretty fundamental to an operating system. Looks like we're getting close here. Just cleaning up the packages for the install. But I'm not sure if anyone else, I'd be interested to hear people's comments down below, what they would think about the system tray issue, if it's a big deal to them or if they've moved away from system tray usage. I could see you not needing to. I mean, with GNOME, they have the dock style, kind of like Mac does, and some of the other desktops. Oh, there we go. Let's go ahead and reboot. Alright, and while that's rebooting, I feel like it's an important thing to note that you can use apps without system tray. It's just if you close the program, you're going to have no way of knowing what is other than maybe system sounds or the notification bar. So most systems still have notification trays. Like GNOME still has a notification tray, so you can see the updates there. But it's still, I just still find it easier to go up into the right corner and look at the status of something, see if it has like a number next to it showing that there's unread messages or something. And just losing that functionality is not something I like. All right, let's see if we can't get this to go full screen now. Let's go into system settings, display, 1080p. No, you still don't want to do 1080p. Maybe it's the capacitor. Well, that's gonna be a bit annoying. I really don't like the square resolution. Let's see here. Display spice. Let's try making those changes real quick. So let's shut this guy down. So since this is Fedora, it should have all the VirtIO stuff pre-installed. So let's switch this over to VirtIO. Apply. Okay, good. That's already in VirtIO. I wonder why the video wasn't set to VirtIO. Let's make it a little bit faster here. Take it to the desktop. Ah, there we go. Yep, just need to be switched to the VirtIO driver. Okay, seems good enough. Now, what's cool about this? Oop, I feel like I'm peeking a little bit there. So what's cool about this is, as you saw, I am VNC'd into the main system, and then controlling this virtual machine from inside the VNC connection of the virtualized hypervisor machine. So I'm interesting, sort of. All right, so at this point, let's go ahead and start customizing the look and feel here. why so many people like this. Let's see what it looks like, but why so many people try to make their KDE Desktop look like a Mac. And this is usually my go-to is Arc. I really enjoy the Arc theming. Sometimes I'll go with like the Windows theme. Wants to make changes to my login manager. That's a pretty good theme too. Let's go with the dark one. Okay. Let's just see what this one looks like. That is way too transparent. Yeah, see, this Arc Dark looks a lot nicer. However, there are a couple things I want to change. Window decoration. Yeah, that looks a little bit nicer. I don't really like that. No, because sometimes I like this little bit darker style. I don't know if this really works for it though. Let's see, let's look at Dolphin here. Oh yeah, we need to go change the icons. That's the one thing I hate about this sometimes is you have to reopen the program to see the new icons. Let's see here. Looks good. Oh, did it really only give itself a 1 gig? Oh, that's for the boot. Apparently we have more packages to install. Alright, where is utilities, I think it is. Nope, I guess system. Alright, first off, we're getting rid of this menu. I dislike this menu. Show alternatives. I'm usually more the old-fashioned menu guy. Nope. Administration. Yep, there it is. So, like you have an Ubuntu Synaptic Package Manager, or like you have in OpenSUSE, the YAST package management, DNF Dragora, I think it's pronounced. If you install any distribution other than the mainstream workstation version, you get this software manager. It's really great. DNF is a little bit slow because it has a lot of those redundancy checks to make sure like if a package is not matching hashes or doesn't download properly and stuff like that. So it is a little bit slower, but this is essentially the same thing as once it's loaded, you can search packages and stuff just like you would with any of those other package managers. It's not the software center. It's more of a, here is all the packages. So So I'm kind of curious, because we just did that other update when the system first booted, what packages I need to update still. We'll see here in a minute. Ooh, I kind of like this one. It's really nice and dark. I like dark themes. Oh, well. Guess it lied to us. There are no packages to update. Oh, I bet I know what that notification was from. That's probably from the underlying system and not the VM. I have packages to update on the actual KVM hypervisor. Or, I don't know if you'd call it a hypervisor, but the box that I'm using as a hypervisor. That's probably what the update message was for. See, now this is a little bit better. It's transparent, but it's not overly transparent. Okay, let's go into Discover. Let's grab a couple applications. Oh, wait, no, before we even do that. First and foremost, oops. We need to go in and set up RPM Fusion. Now, for those who don't know, if you run Fedora, you always want to get some RPM Fusion installed. And the reason for that is Fedora being a very FOSS distribution, all the software you want is going to be in here. It's really simple. You go in here. You can use the graphical setup. I just find it takes longer. So right here, command line, just take this line over here and paste it. Put in my sudo password. And then we let it run. And it's as simple as that. Oh, well. That's enabling the repos. I skipped a step. Now, if we want to have some of this other stuff, so we need to update yet. So we want to update the app stream metadata, and this is going to let Discover see all these new packages. Because Discover is going to look at the app stream metadata to get what is new. Well, since we added the RPM Fusion, we want to add that metadata as well. So, and also, as you see here, is the first time using those repos, so it's asking us to confirm we want to use them. So there we go. Now the app data is in there. Now, if I was going to use this box for video or anything, I would run these two, because it's very important if you're going to do anything with video, like watching videos or stuff, get the better codecs, the non-free ones. That's what you'd use this section right here, the multimedia post install. DVD stuff if you need that. But again, for me, I really don't need that. So, because I'm using mostly FOSS everything, and this is KVM, which is an open source. You know, it's all open source what I'm using here. Open source virtualization, open source everything. I'm mainly going to be using this box for recordings. So I'm going to record like I am right now from the host machine. Well, I'm going to set up, that's actually the next thing we're going to set up. So the next thing I want to install is set up VNC so I can VNC directly into this machine. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so that is for outgoing coming in. First time getting NetApp data, so Discover is setting it all up and parsing it. I'm not really sure if Discover uses like a local SQLite database or something, because I know it's usually a bit faster. Able to verify internet connectivity. It works just fine when I click on something. That's interesting. Okay, so it is already installed. So, as you can see, the password here, so I'll definitely be changing it even though it's only on my LAN anyways. But first things first, let me go ahead and set that up over on my other screen. Or actually, I'll show you here. So for my local DNS, I use Pi-hole. I get my password from my password manager. Just give me a second. Oop. Guess that was not the right one. Try that one. I wonder if it's not letting me paste through because I'm pasting through multiple layers here. Guess I'll just have to type it in by hand. I just want to see it. All right. Open 1Password. Here we go. Okay, then we're going to come down here to local DNS records. And we named this one what? Liger VM. So Liger VM.lan. Oopsie, that's not the menu I want. 86. So 192.168.4.86. Okay. And look at all those blocks. All those DNS queries. 15% of my network traffic gets blocked when using Pi-hole. No ads anywhere, including on mobile devices on my network. Okay. Now let's try connecting to this directly. New screen. Oh look, it detects it automatically. What is the current password? I'll change it later. GZ6Z-PBJ. Save. Not connecting. What if I just did LAN? Let's check firewall. Okay, come on now. What? Okay, so we want to allow VNC. Okay, GZ6Z-PBJ. Authenticate. Said it couldn't authenticate. Let me try. Just something stupid simple, see if that works. Ah, there we go. Haha. So I am able to connect to it directly now. Now to get that to work, what I had to do was set up, how do I basically say that? You have to set up a very special, instead of going with the default settings, all my VMs are configured to do bridge versus the host pass-through, because I want to be able to set up to where all my VMs can access each other. Very simple setting in the setup. When you do the network, you just click advanced and switch to bridge, and it's that simple. So it's not difficult. So my VMs act as if they're directly on the network. Okay, well. I don't know if there's anything extra I really need to do. I guess I could customize my bash shell here a little bit. Actually, I prefer solarized. Yep, this is as expected. You can't contact the host. So the reason why that doesn't work is because I'm doing the setup that I'm doing. But I think that's really it. Everything seems pretty good to me on my end here. I think this is all we needed to do and only took about 40 so minutes from start to finish. And now I have my remote workstation, which I'll be doing a lot of my stuff from. So anyways, thank you for listening, and sorry if a lot of this background music felt like it was repetitive. I mean, it sounds like it was repetitive to me. But just wanted some chilled laid back music while we worked that was non-copyright. Anyways, thank you for watching and have a great day. Oh, and by the way, this all the passwords and everything you saw will be changed. Obviously, even though they're behind my own NAT and everything, still don't show off passwords unless you plan on absolutely changing them.